Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, One Casual Heretic, and we are doing another 300 point Grimdark Future Firefight game. This time we have our Human Inquisition going up against some Elven Jesters. And in this game, we'll of course be taking the Human Inquisition. Elven Jesters will kind of be the AI-ish sort of enemy. And their board, kind of a little bigger than the other one, but you know, I just wanted to change it up a little bit so the same one doesn't get too boring. So for our Human Inquisition, we have an Inquisitor with heavy rifle, energy fist, the Witch Hunter upgrade, which kind of gives her basically a 6+ regeneration or 4+ if it's a spell, but there are no spells here today, so it's just a 6 up regeneration basically, and the Caster 2 upgrade. We have a Psychic Host Henchman. This guy right here. When I was thinking about making this list, I was playing the Inquisitor Martyr game, the Warhammer 40k game, and I'm like, you know what? I got a spare Prime Brother around. Let's paint him up in Stormwatcher colors and put him on a list somewhere. Let's get an Inquisition list going on. Let's get that Stormwatcher in there. We have a Cybernetic Henchman with a heavy machine gun. We have a Crusader Henchman. And then we have a single 3-man squad of Private Guard, 2 rifles, and a plasma gun. Now, this wasn't, I didn't paint this guy. A friend of mine painted this guy. So that one's not mine. So for our Elven Jesters, we have our Master Jester. He's got the Shriek Cannon, 2 Deathly Caresses, and the Stage Master ability. What is that called? Yeah, Stage Master. So basically him and everybody at the start of the turn within 12 inches of him can move up to 3 inches after they shoot. So we have 2 Jesters with the Neuron Pistols and Deathly Kiss weapons, and then we have 3 Fools with just their Shard Pistol and Close Combat weapons. So how many objectives are we going to have? 3. Now who goes first? Inquisition, Jester, so this is who deploys first and goes first roll, basically. Our Human Inquisition. Alright, we're about ready to start turn 1. We got our Human Inquisition lined up. And again, with the enemy, I just kind of rolled randomly for table sides, and well, that's just how they rolled. And that's just how it is, so turn 1. Now they did win their roll-off, so the Inquisition will go first. And our Crusader will just rush out onto that objective. So our Elven Jesters, who's first? It's going to be our Red Jester. So he is just going to run. And just in case I didn't show the objectives, just tried to get in a triangle as best as I can so that there's no particular advantage. So our Red Jester. Next up, we are going to have our Prime Brother. Kind of just move out a little bit. And then he is going to take some shots with his auto rifle at that Red Jester. So you are within 12, so their stealth will not be in effect. So quality 3+. It's going to be 1 hit, 1 miss. We are, well, do we have cover? Yeah, it does kind of like he has it, so we'll go ahead and give it to him. So on a 4+, well, wouldn't have mattered. He would have passed either way. So next up for our Elven Jesters, our Purple Jester. That's going to be you. You'll just rush out into the middle and take up a position so that next turn you can get a good charge off. Next up, who do we want to go with? I guess we'll go with that Inquisitor, and the Inquisitor is going to cast a spell. It is going to be called Foresight, and she will be able to pick 2 units within 6 inches in line of sight, and if it goes off, she will give them a +1 to hit. Now, this is only 1 charge. She has 2, and she'll be taking the one from the Psychic Host. Basically, you know, we need 1 charge to cast it. Her other token will make it a 3+, and then his token will make it a 2+. So, good thing we did that. So next up, the Private Guard and the Cyborg Henchman will have +1 to hit next time they shoot. And now our Human Inquisitor is actually in charge range. Well, kind of going through terrain there, so now we'll just move out and then fire with that heavy rifle. Heavy rifle into that Jester. Shooting on a 3+, we are definitely within 12, so no stealth. We hit. Now that 4+ from cover is going to drop down to a 5+ thanks to the AP1 on our heavy rifle. And no, that will be a wound on our Jester. Is he knocked out on a 5+ or is he stunned? He will be stunned. So, almost a good start. Almost a good start. So, next up, our Master Jester. He can move up to 8. Well, they all can because they all have fast. So he will just kind of go right there. And then what he's going to do is shoot his weapon at the Inquisitor. So his Shriek Cannon is 2 dice, 24 inches. We have Poison and Reliable. So we're hitting on 2+. They both hit. We have a 3+ armor on that Inquisitor. No, one of them is going to fail. Alright, and now we have our 6-up Witch Hunter upgrade. Or, well, Wound Shrug. Which we pass. Very lucky. So, with this little Graceful Brutality, he'll just kind of use that last 3 inches to get himself into cover. Next up, we have our Private Guard. Can you guys move out? Yes. And then they will be taking shots at that Jester. Alright. Now, this Jester is stunned, so if they get a hit, he's knocked out. And with our little psychic power, they're going to get +1 to hit. We'll start with those rifles. And it hits. So we don't even need to roll the plasma because that's just going to be the Jester out. And that is a good start for them. Next up for the Jesters, who do we got? The Red Fool, and he'll just kind of jump right back onto that objective, just to kind of make sure we got it capped at the end there. Next up, see our Psychic Host, well, Cyborg Henchman. Just going to be able to move right there. That will give him line of sight to that Jester. Definitely within 12, so no dodge. So we have our heavy machine gun. Normally he hits on a 5+, but a 4+ thanks to our psychic spell. 2 hits and a miss. Well, 1 hit and 2 misses. So it's -1, so we have 5-up defense, which is passed. So next up for our Jesters, the Purple Fool. What do we say? What do I think? What do I think? We'll just move right there. Kind of get some cover and just wait for something to come to them. Next up is our Psychic Host, and then he's just going to move over here just so that he can stay in line of sight to give her the spell tokens should the Inquisitor need them. And then our last one for the Elven Jesters is our Green Fool. So when I say Green Fool, I mean they obviously have like different colors, so that's what I'm going off of. And then for him, that'll be it for him. He'll take that objective. Alrighty then, so we're back. So turn 2, our Human Inquisition has 1, and then our Jesters have 2. Just so I can kind of get a good idea where everybody is and what they're doing. Said 1 to 2. They did finish first, so the Human Inquisition will get to go first. So, our Inquisitor, it's going to be the first one to go, and we're going to go for a Hail Mary here. We are going to first charge that Jester, and then we're going to cast Psychic Power on the boss over here. So, before the Inquisitor attacks, she will try to cast Expel on the Elven Jester. This is basically a 2-token spell, so not really able to use any extra for a bonus, not really close enough to give her a bonus, so she will try to use the spell. Goes off on a 4+, and if it hits, he'll take a single hit with AP 2 and Deadly 3. It hits, so now we need an armor save on the Jester. We need a 6+ to stop this. We do not. So that will be a Deadly 3 hit, and is he out? Remember, he is tough 3, so we'll need to roll a 5 and get an 8 to knock him out. No, he will just be stunned this turn. But that is great news for the Inquisitor. And now we'll get 2 attacks with the Energy Fist on this Jester. Normally a 3+, but all of these Elven Jesters have a -1 to hit in close combat, so we need 4s. And it's a miss. So the Jester will swing back 2 attacks on a 5+, and he also misses. Not the best result, but that could be very, very bad if they do not get their activation first and remove that stun marker. Alright, let's see. What do they have first? Purple Jester. So that would be this Jester right here, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to let this Inquisitor know we've had enough of their nonsense. And he's going to swing with the Deathly Kiss weapon. So we'll have 1 attack, quality 3+, but this will be AP 2 and Deadly 3. So 3+ to hit. It hits, so this is AP 2. So the 3+ armor in that Inquisitor is now a 5+, which fails. But our Inquisitor does have the Witch Hunter upgrade, which he does not pass any of. So that will be 3 damage. Is the Inquisitor knocked out on a 5+? No, just stunned. Yeah. Wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't knock anything over. So next up, let me see what we got. I think we gotta go with this Private Guard for reasons. And that reason is going to be killing off that Jester. So these 3 guys are going to shoot at him. Remember, when you're stunned, if you get hit with the shot, you can be taken out. I mean, you can do it for sure with the charge, but they weren't close enough to charge. So, rifles, we just need to fight. Well, I'll just roll all of them once because it doesn't really matter. As long as somebody gets a hit, he's gone. So, we just need a single 5+. No. Next up for our Elven Jesters would be the Green Fool. And that's going to be this guy right over here. And the only thing he can really do is charge that guy. But he does have Strider, and he does have Fast, so that can definitely make it. And that's it's a pretty good distance. You might be thinking, is that breaking the rules? Well, when you're playing Elven Jesters, they tend to throw out the rule book and give you a joke book. So we got 2 attacks with that Fool on a 5+. We got 1 hit. Now our Crusader does have 4+ defense, and with that shield, it will be a 3+, which he passes, and then he will get 2 swings back with his energy sword. It's quality 4+, but with the dodge, we're down to a 5+. which he misses. So they just kind of take swings and miss at each other. Next up, I think we need to go for the big play there, which is getting this cyborg henchman some line of sight, and then taking shots to try and get rid of that jester before he unstuns himself. So we have our heavy machine gun on a 5+, not far enough for the stealth, and he brings it home. It's a good robot. It's a good robot. Very good robot. And that's going to be it for the jester leader. It was not his time to shine on the stage here. Next up. Oh, so close. I'm so sorry, Jesters. Oh, that must hurt. That hurt any Elven Jester fans watching the video. So we have our red fool. And then he'll just return the favor and remove that Inquisitor. That must hurt. Alright, next up. So what we got next? We have our Psychic Host. He's just going to kind of move out a little bit. And he is going to cast the Psychic power we did earlier for +1 to hit. So he needs a 4+, which he fails, but he'll just get one shot with his pistol on a 5+. Remember, not 12 inches, so no stealth. And he misses. So for our Elven Jester, our purple fool, and they're going to charge the private guard. Now let's see if we can't strip down that squad a little bit. So 2 attacks on a 5+, because this is the fool, not the jester. 1 hit. We have a 5+ defense. Nope, so 1 is going to go down, but they will get 2 swings back themselves on a 5+, which is now 6 because of the dodge, and they both miss. So back out of combat, and that right there. Alright guys, you're going to notice a very bad cut, and that was a mistake on my part when I was filming. So basically at the end of turn 2, this Prime Brother did take a shot at that fool and did score a wound and stun them. Then at the start of turn 3, we did get our purple fool, charged the private guard, took a member out, and did not take anything in return. So, next up is going to be our Psychic Host, and he's going to try and cast Foresight. He needs a 4+, which he fails, but he will just charge and remove that Elven Jester. And that will be it for that Elven Jester. Did not get his stun marker removed, so he's out. So our red fool, which will be this guy right here, and I think he might want to try and get rid of that cyborg henchman before he activates. So he'll have 2 attacks on quality 5+, which both miss, but that cyborg henchman will get to swing back. Now our cyborg henchman will be able to swing back with his claw. He gets 2 attacks, now normally on a 5+, but down to a 6 because of the dodge, and it misses. So he will be forced to back out. Then he will take a fatigue marker. Next up, I think we'll go ahead and activate that cyborg henchman next. And then he'll just fire his heavy machine gun into that jester that is not activated yet. So we got 3 attacks on 5+, which all miss. Elven Jesters, our purple jester is next. And I think our jester is going to want to charge that Space Marine. Sorry, not Space Marine, Prime Brother, before he can activate. And then Jester will get 1 attack on a 3+. It hits. This is AP2, so we'll need a 4-up armor save on that Prime Brother, which he fails, so he will take a 3 damage. Is he knocked out on a 3+? Yes, he is. That Prime Brother is now gone. And then that Jester will be able to move 3 inches because it killed what it charged. Next up, we'll just try and do that right there. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll have the Crusader swing at the Jester. So 2 attacks, normally on a 4, down to a 5. And they both hit. So 5+ defense, down to a 6 because of the sword. 1 pass, 1 fail. So that is going to be a wound on our Jester. And is our Jester here knocked out on a 5+? No, just stunned, and that is unfortunate. And then he'll be forced to back out an inch. Okay, next up, our Green Fool, but that Green Fool is gone. And our last activation will be the Private Guard. Private Guard is going to take a shot at that Fool. Need a 5+. And we miss. And that looks like it'll be it for turn 3. So before we do go on to turn 4 though, our Elven Jesters have lost at least half of their units. So we will have to take a route test. And because this model is stunned, they automatically fail that route test. So we got quality 5+ on that Fool with our route test, which fails. And then this Fool right here on a 5+, who stays. So that is going to be very, very unfortunate, because that is going to give the Elven Jesters only 1 model to work with this turn, and it is turn 4 with it being 1-to-1 now because we're contested. Hasn't been taken, and that stun model, it was stunned, so it can't contest it. So our Inquisition finished first, turn 3, so now our Jester, really the only model. And what does it want to do? So it will just try to take down that cyborg henchman. Just try to go for something kind of big it can kill, so 2 hits, but I believe we have a 4+ defense on our cyborg henchman, which he passes both of. And now he'll swing back with this claw, hitting on a 6+ because of the dodge, and they both miss. So our Elven Jester is just kind of out in the open there. First, can you take him out on a 5+? That plasma gun, no. Next up is going to be our Psychic Host. Alright, we'll go and do our Psychic Host next. And then he will just move right there. He will try to cast Flame Breath on that squad the Fool right there. So, need a 4+, and then goes off. And that would just be 1 hit with AP2. So, 6-up armor. Fails. That will be a wound. Knocked down on 5+, no, but it will be stunned. And then he's going to fire the pistol on a 5+. And it hits, and stunned models that get hit with the range are just taken out. And it looks like our Inquisitorial little host here just kind of has reign of the field. Just move right there. Can't quite get far enough. No, I don't think he can even move that far, so he'll just be outside of that range. And it does look like that's going to be it for turn 4. So then at the end of the turn, this objective will flip. This one stayed in Inquisitorial hands, and this one didn't really have the range to get over there just because of the terrain he was running around, so that one stayed with the Jesters. And the final score is going to be 2-1 in favor of the Human Inquisition. Final thoughts. I mean, the Human Inquisition, they brought it home. Like, they rolled pretty well, and the Elven Jesters, that route test toward the end cost them 2 of their models, so had they stayed on the board, they might have been able to hold on just enough, but that route test just did not, it just crippled them that 4th turn, and the Inquisitor getting that big psychic power off that stunned him, taking him out of the game, was probably that right there. Just, I think that's what won them the game, because if had he stayed in and been able to act, that would have been it for them. They got exactly what they needed, exactly when they needed it, and they brought it home against the Elven Jesters. And if you put up with this, particular game, which did not go very, very well for me, thank you. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys will join me on the next one.